So, Ed, I wanted to ask about alternative powertrains. There's obviously a lot of talk about this. We're wanting to reduce our carbon footprint. We're wanting to go net zero. Here in the UK, for example, they're wanting to go net zero by 2035. And realistically, the only way to do that is to get these alternative powertrains more popular. So can you start by just speaking about hybrid and what the kind of present is that for that now and where you see it going in the future?
Yes, well, if we start with hybrid, the idea behind a hybrid engine is to combine an internal combustion engine, an ICE engine, with a battery electric drive. So you get the best of both systems. And there's a couple of different ways you can do that. One is called a series drive, where the internal combustion engine basically runs a generator that then creates power for an electric motor. And then there's a parallel system, which is the type that typically you'll see in commercial cars, but also what you could really classify what's used in Formula One. And that's where the internal combustion engine and the electric drive both can work together to drive the wheels. So if you look at the current regulations for Formula One, the split of the 1,000 horsepower is about 85% on the internal combustion engine side and about 15% on the electric battery side. In 26, with the new regulations, that's going to change to be about 50-50. So if you look at the components that you have, of course, you have your internal combustion engine and a turbocharged 1.6 liter engine in a Formula One car. But then you have the whole energy recovery systems, the batteries, and everything you need to bring in the powering from the electric side, shall we say. So the core to this thing is the motor generation unit, the kinetic motor generation unit, the MGUK. And that's actually the motor that drives the car electrically. And it's also has the ability to recover energy and recharge the batteries. So that's one part of it. Then there's also the MGUH, which recovers energy from the turbocharger. So together, both those energy recovery systems give you that 15%. And in effect, with some clever software that knows how to balance all these different pieces, you can actually get that full 1,000 horsepower. Now, what's going to happen in 26 is it's going to be a 50-50 split. So the internal combustion engine goes down to closer to 500 horsepower, and the electric side comes up to almost 500 horsepower on that side. The other thing that's interesting is the turbocharger energy recovery part, the MGUH, is gone. So that means that there's going to be a greater reliance in 26 on electric power. In fact, you could almost say that in 26, a Formula One car will be half electric.
Yeah, exactly. There's a big change coming on the horizon with F1 with that. And obviously the other side of it is going fully electric. The fully electric cars that, again, here in the UK, for example, we're only going to be selling new electric cars from 2030. The petrol and diesel and the hybrids are going to go in terms of new ones. I guess the question that a lot of people have around that is, is that too soon, for example? And what's the kind of landscape in the US right now for electric cars? Because I've noticed here in the UK that they're becoming a lot more popular right now, and that's a trend that we're probably only going to see increase.
Well, I think there's one thing that's really great about electric cars is the electric drive portion of it, because you're taking a very complex internal combustion engine and you're replacing it with what could be, say, 4-wheel motors. So thousands of moving parts for maybe just 4 moving parts, software, batteries, that type of thing. So inherently, they should be more reliable, leaving batteries aside as that technology develops. However, there is reluctance. And if you think about it, one of the great things about an internal combustion engine car is when you leave your home, you know you can get gas on the highway, at the nearby gas station, whatever it is, and be it 5 miles or 500, you know you can get there. And that whole idea of range anxiety, and probably more importantly, the infrastructure you need to recharge until you're comfortable that it's there, there's going to be reluctance. I think if you could solve that problem, it would eliminate a lot of the resistance there is to go to electric cars. Also, price is a problem there as well, but there's a lot of factors that you can look at there. I think they could probably bring those prices down. But it's really about infrastructure and rely us on being able to recharge.
I think you've hit the nail on the head there. Those are my two biggest anxieties around electric cars, the price and also the range of it. But my dad has an electric car and he says he loves it, so they're definitely getting better with that regard. But yeah, that was some great information provided by Ed there. And if you guys have any thoughts on it, of course, leave it in the comments below as always. And what topic do you want to see me and Ed discuss next? He's a former vice president of Siemens Motorsport, so he's got a lot of knowledge and experience. And of course, subscribe and follow our video channels for much more content just like this.